course, goes on vacation. Matty Gukas just came out of the locker room and he was looking over at Billy to find out where they're going to pick at the lottery, and you flashed up one finger. What was his reaction?
He said, "One? You really mean one?" And then he said, "Really don't care. This is what's important to me."
Can one come in and help me here in the second half?
Yeah.
Now, Billy Charles Barkley is really nowhere. He hasn't even taken a shot offensively. He's gotten to the free throw line. That's been the big story in this game.
He's got to get himself going out of transition on the offensive boards. One of those two ways, and then he can get things falling in place. The other point we mentioned at the top, okay, we see what the front court, that's unbelievable with Cummings and Clem Johnson. Those two players, you know, you expect Cummings to have the big game, but Clem Johnson, you know, is he going to be able to score 34 points? You know, 17 more in this period? I don't know. Interesting matchup. You have Barkley playing Moncrief to start this period.
They ship it inside to Cummings, and he continues to light it up. He is now 9 of 11. That's 19 points for Terry Cummings here in this, the most important game, perhaps in the history of the Milwaukee franchise. They are absolutely haunted by the Philadelphia 76ers. It's a ghost they badly want to exercise here this afternoon. They double up the ball, and Cheeks is trying to battle free, and Cummings has got an open man. But it's Moncrief who is slowed, and Barkley lets him go on in for the left-handed layup. And for the limping Moncrief, that is 14 points. And just as quickly, Matty Gukas will call a timeout because the Bucks have built their biggest lead of this Game 7.
Well, the Bucks have come out of the locker room ready and fired up. The 76ers, Bobby Jones is tired. Anytime someone can beat Bobby Jones across the lane and flash in that post area, as Cummings did the last time, that's not Bobby Jones defensively. Now, for the Sixers to get back in this ball game, they're going to have to, and they're only down 9 points, but they're going to have to pick up the tempo defensively, Brent. They're going to have to look to pick up with pressure. I would not be surprised to see Matty to go to the down 3 to look for that pressure.
Now, rebounding turned around completely. Philadelphia out-rebounded the Bucks 13-6 in the opening period, and then 13-7 Milwaukee in the second. It was Alton Lister who contributed off of Don Nelson's bench. Cheeks brings it up from the right side. Barkley has it knocked away, but it wound up in Julius's hands, and he can't score. Hodges, pressure at the offensive end by Milwaukee, and Cummings feeling it, missing that shot. Barkley's outlet intended for Bobby Jones. He's got it, and Cummings with him, but Maurice Cheeks follows him up.
Well, there's an example why you never take anything for granted in basketball. It looked like an easy opportunity for Bobby Jones, but Maurice Cheeks followed up and was able to pick up the loose ball for 2.
A steal by Barkley off the Moncrief pass. The Sixers come back down.
That's the 76ers game. Creating the turnovers, forcing the long jump shot, and getting out and running.
The Bucks are doubling up defensively, and Irving with a chance for a three-point play. Magnificent Julius Irving, 10 years in the NBA, every year an all-star, switched now from forward to guard. Billy, I've asked for this question before, but I'm sure a lot of fans are interested. Will the Doc be back for sure next year with the Sixers?
Oh, I think he will be. You know, I marvel at Doc and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, two players that still, you know, have accomplished everything in this game, and they still have that love and desire, and they just go out there and play, and they're always trying to improve their game.
Hodges score it, put him on the line.
The Sixers are a tired team. That's a situation that with that penetration, Doc was beat, but no one on the 76ers was able to step in and give him that help defensively.
Moncrief at the other end with his 4th personal foul a moment ago. Hodges now, having already scored 13 points, he's at the free throw line.
People wonder if the 76ers miss Moses Malone. They sure do. In that type of a case, Moses has that ability to either, you know, block that shot or force that man to give that basketball up as Hodges when he penetrated all the way to the basket. Here's the isolation, but they're doubling, and Charles can't get going. Great pass by Clem Johnson.
And followed by Julius.
Julius is really trying to get this team rolling and taking that burden on his own shoulders to get this team back in action. That's called leadership.
And Cummings has been showing it along with Moncrief for the Bucks here today. A three-point try by Moncrief is short. The Sixers battle for it, and Pressey comes away for Don Nelson's team. Beautiful drive by Paul Pressey. What a fine-looking basketball player he is.
A great play. Now, he's done that a few times today. Been able to get the turnover and create it to an easy basket.
Julius trying to get a foul on Pressey, trying to call Madden's attention to the contact underneath. Barkley, and score his first field goal attempt of the game. 6 points overall, the man the Sixers have to have here in the second half. We got a timeout. This is game 7. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics await the winner.
When you compare Ford Ranger...
What they were going to do with Charles Barkley when he got the basketball.
Barkley continues perfect at the free throw line. He's 5 of 5. He's also pulled down 7 rebounds. Now, Milwaukee worked out briefly yesterday, and the Sixers were given the whole day off to try and rest up after their fine performance in Game 6 back in the Spectrum. Cummings got Jones in the air. A three-point opportunity, and Terry Cummings is the main man against Jones and the 76ers here this afternoon.
Bobby Jones, 3 on goal. That's the second on the Sixers third term. At the line, 24 on
Cummings is a marvelous story, having overcome that heart problem to continue as a standout here in the NBA. Grew up in the Chicago area.
You know, Brent, the reason for the success of that play...
Julius.
Milwaukee was going to their trap after the foul shot. Found the open man, and Doc hit the shot. The reason for the success of that last play was Sidney Moncrief's cutting off Terry Cummings, allowing that good position inside.
Moncrief penetrating that time. Barkley yanking the miss off. Bobby Jones on the breakout. Oh, he's fouled.
We got a breakaway.
He's all right. Oh, he went down so hard in behind the basket support. Manny Gukas running out onto the floor quickly.
There's that outlet pass. Bobby going strong. Hodges going for the basketball and got too much of Bobby Jones. There's one thing for sure. Hodges would never try to hurt Bobby Jones. That's not his style of play.
Well, there was a great bust out by Jones. Here he is at a view from behind. The crowd is booing Matty Gukas, who was out on the floor, but obviously he wanted to see if Jones was all right, and we've got a technical assessed against that personal foul.
No, that's the breakaway rule, Brent. Where the official's eyes, the player had no chance to stop the basket, and this rule comes up from a few years ago with the Boston-LA series when we saw bodies falling into the support underneath the basket, and the reason for it is to make sure players do not get hurt. Now we see they're looking to post up Bobby Jones against Moncrief.
Lister hands it off after rebounding to Hodges.
Moncrief is visibly limping at this point.
Cummings runs it down, but he was motioning to Jake O'Donnell that he was pushed by Barkley, and that's why he lost control. But we all know that Charles Barkley would never do that. Tapped away from Irving by Pressey, who was locked up, and Cheeks goes down to the corner. They run it down and bring it back to the Sixers. Big lead on Moncrief, who's trailing. Julius in on the penetration. Moncrief comes out, and here's Pressey. Pressey was fouled. He'll come up to the free throw line for a pair.
You think winning's important to Sidney Moncrief? I mean, he traced that basketball down, and I had just said you could see him limping up and down the court. And he's going against one of the quickest, if not the quickest guard in the league, chasing that ball down, Maurice. But he would not say that he would not give up on that basketball. That's, you know, we talk about leadership by example, but how, if you play with Sidney Moncrief, you have to play hard, or he just embarrasses you on the court.
With Pressey at the line, Ricky Pierce checks back in for the Bucks. So it's Cummings and Pierce, Pressey, Lister, and Moncrief up against Cheeks, Barkley, Irving, Johnson, and Jones. Those are our lineups at the 7:14 mark, third period, Game 7, Milwaukee. Barkley trying to get past Lister. Body he fakes. Now he's up, missing on the shot. Milwaukee yanks the miss away. It's Pierce.
Great defense by the Bucks, especially Terry Cummings, anticipating Barkley to put the ball on the floor and went to double.
Knocked away by Cummings. Cheeks touched it. It goes over to the Bucks. Got a timeout. Milwaukee leading it by 3, and we'll be right back.
Fans, please.
Mr. Garfield, welcome to Embassy Suites Hotel.
My room.
Oh, all our rooms are really two-room suites for the price.
Move in on Charles Barkley. So Clement Johnson jumps up with a monster first half, 17 points. Johnson has not scored here in the second half as Nelson, as his assistants, went back to the drawing board and said, we have got to tighten up on him now.
It's not that important. You know, you'd like Clem Johnson to get some points on the offensive boards, an open jump shot. The key is for the Sixers to get Bobby Jones and Charles Barkley involved in the offense.
Pressing gives it to Moncrief at the top of the circle. And Sidney Moncrief, injured heel and all, has scored 16 points.
That was just great execution by the Bucks that time down so well. They executed so well they were able to get that easy opportunity for Moncrief.
Cheeks gets it back for Philadelphia. That's 13 for Maurice Cheeks.
Now they've switched back to Sixers and they have Charles Barkley guarding Cummings again.
Here's Cummings. He is 10 of 14 after that miss. Irving wrestled it away and out of bounds. Milwaukee's ball. Sedale 3, who lit up the scoreboard in the first half with 16 points, checks in. He was 7 of 8 from the field. Lister picking over Johnson. Wouldn't stay in. And Threet contributes a rebound immediately. Sedale 3, 18 and again he hits his first shot off the bench here in the second half, as he did in the first.
Well, you'll see him more aggressive defensively too.
The open man is Pierce, defensive error.
Defensive lapse, poor communication on who's playing who.
Moncrief with an injured heel, Pierce with an injured ankle. Cummings dislocated a finger in the first half.
Looking to isolate Barkley.
Cheeks turning the corner is fouled. Game past Pierce. And on his move to the basket, he was fouled by Lister.
What they do is they were looking to isolate Charles Barkley. They didn't have that, so they looked to go to the pick and roll, and Lister obviously doesn't have the foot speed to compete with Maurice Cheeks and just put that hand out and pick up the foul.
That's 3 team fouls on the Sixers, but 4 now after that one on Milwaukee.